Right, so Nicholas Hutching, Zante Otto in pole position. And then we have got Ryan Kutsia, that's the front row of the grid. Then we've got the 78, that is Dave Entercott, Lance Jonas, and then Nassif Smart. Those are the first first two rows of your 650s. Then in pole position for the 300s, that's the number 4, that's Aidan Solomon. And on his outside is Abigail Bosson, followed there by Raymond Alexander. Right, I'll do the 650s and Byron will do the 300s. 6 of the 650s, that's the first 2 rows. And then there are a couple of them that's slightly out of sync. The 650s, they are stuck in there between the 300s, of which Stavro Michel is one of them.
I just see the sometimes the usual grid Rubik's Cube going on over there towards the back, Frankie. They have to get everybody into their rightful positions near the back of the grid, and our officials do always a mighty job of that as well. They look to be happy, and we are ready to go racing here, Frankie. First of all, the bravest man in motorsport, John Green, who will run out with 5 seconds to spare.
Yeah, John Green's got that 5-second paddle board, and then we will go racing shortly as we wait for them to get ready. 5-second paddles up, out the way, lights are on, lights are off, and away we go. And a massive start off the line there by Nicholas Hutchings. Ryan Kutsia is going to move up from P3 into P2, will he? Yes, he does. So he goes up 1 position into that 2nd position is Ryan Kutsia, but it's all about Hutchings that sits out there in P1, making his way up the Jabez straight towards turn number 2. Hutchings sitting out there in P1. Then in 2nd position, we've got Ryan Kutsia as they work their way out of turn 2, Quarry Corner.
Yeah, I'm glad to say a good clean start for everybody as they make their way through turn 2, through the kink and into turn 3, Interceptor Corner. It's going to be a 9-lap race as they make their way onto the Tygerberg Straight now, and for the first time today into the right-hander at Sarles Sweep. Down the back straight they'll then run. Then we'll be able to pick up for you who is where as far as the 650s are concerned, as well as the 300s.
Right, so down the back main they go. They're absolutely blasting their way down the back main. That looks like David Entercott that's there in that 3rd position as they work their way down into turn number 5, into Fostron Corner. So Entercott was in P4. He was the first bike on that 2nd row of the grid when the lights went off. And he is also busy making a move. He's gone up into that 3rd position. And then behind Entercott, we've got the 73 coming through, and that is Zante Otto. So Otto sitting out there in that top 5 as they work their way out of turn 1, out of Holzhoek.
All right, so just taking a look now, Frankie, it's Abigail Bosson who was looking at the sharp end of the field, but it is Adrian Solomon that leads the 300 class at the moment. 3.7 seconds already over Raymond Alexander from a standing start, and Stavro Michel is just a smidgen, 18 thousandths of a second off of Raymond Alexander. Actually, he's in the 650, I should apologize. There we go, he's mixing it with the 300s. Abigail Bosson is currently 3rd, half a second off of the Raymond Alexander.
But heading now towards turn number 4 through Saddle Sweep. That's Nicholas Hutchings that sits out there in P1 in the HAC Hutchings Service Center machine. Down the back main he goes. Ryan Kutsia is in that 2nd position, followed there by Dave Entercott. And here comes Zante Otto. Zante Otto is going to have a serious look. She might even move up into that 3rd position. The two of them are virtually side by side, and it looks like it is Entercott that hangs on to that 3rd place as they work their way out of turn number 5, out of Fostron Corner, under the City of Cape Town and Wingfield Motors Bridge. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's Otto that's gone up there ahead of David Entercott. So Zante Otto made the move, stick there in turn 5 as they work their way out of turn number 1. So she has demoted Entercott 1 position. So Zante Otto moves up now into that 3rd position.
Coming through in our position now, it looks like Abigail Bosson I'm just trying to see if she's actually come up to second in the 300 class, ahead there of Arno Erasmus. Raymond Alexander must have had a moment somewhere because he has now dropped a few positions, but actually now it looks like everything's in order. I think it was just a transponder issue there, and it's still Adrian Solomon that leads by 7.6 seconds. And well, there we go. We just see them now. 7 laps left to go in this race, so still plenty to happen.
So down the back straight they go, working their way now towards turn number 5. That's the 650s that are heading down the back straight, working their way towards turn number 5 into Fostron corner. And in the 650s, it's still Nicholas Hutchings that sits out there in P1 with Ryan Kutsia in that second place. But Ryan is getting a lot closer now as they start another lap. Under the bridge they go, working their way to turn number 1. Then it's Zante Otto P3. Behind Otto, it's David Entercott. And then behind Dave Entercott, we've got Franco Vlag that's coming through there. Franco Vlag that's moved up into that 5th position. He's ahead there of Jamie Hall. Lance Jonas has dropped down to P7, followed there by Nassim Smart and then Robin De Vos in P9.
Okay, I think now just coming through the turn 1 section was the Adrian Solomon machine, and still leads the way. Raymond Alexander will come through that section now as well, onto the Joubert straight, and will be second in class at the moment, ahead of Arno Erasmus, who's now 3rd at the moment, ahead of Braden Hutchings, and then Abigail Bosson. 6 laps left to go, Frankie, including the one we are currently on, a 1:21.344 for Ryan Kutsia, the fastest lap of the race.
He's the quickest rider out there with a 1:21.344 as that group is making its way down the back straight towards turn number 5. Working their way now towards Pertamina Fostron corner. Out of Fostron they come now. Hutchings, while he sits out there in P1, he got a flyer off the line when the lights went off, but he's being closed up here by Ryan Kutsia. It was 7/10 of a second the previous lap, and it's basically it's gone down to 5/10 between Hutchings and Kutsia as they exit turn number 1 with Zante Otto still in that 3rd position, followed there by Dave Entercott, and then 1.5 seconds behind Entercott in P5 is the number 9 machine there of Franco Vlag.
Well, crossing the line is Adrian Solomon now. 1:26.957 is his last one, and he goes into turn 1 now. I just want to see the gap between himself and Raymond Alexander at the moment, Frankie. Yeah, they come to the line now. Raymond Alexander. Oh, it's actually Arno Erasmus that's come up into 2nd position, but let's see now. I think what happens is there's a bit of a timing error here, and Arno Erasmus is still hanging in there. They're going to turn 1 now, and will open up surely onto that Joubert straight fairly shortly here. Yeah, they go now charging it towards turn 2, and looking at things because Abigail Bosson has come up very nicely again into 3rd position. Raymond Alexander is in 4th position now, so it is confirmed, and he was a half a second off of Abigail Bosson as they all make their way through turn 2.
Yeah, this following group of motorcycles is busy making their way out of turn number 5 now. That's a leading group of bikes coming down towards us, and there's not much as they race into turn number 1 between Nicholas Hutchings and Ryan Kutsia. That sits there 1st and 2nd. Then it's Zante Otto. Franco Vlag is going to make a move up on the inside of David Entercott, and Entercott loses that position there to Franco Vlag as the two of them make their way out of turn number 1.
Well, down the back straight, Frankie, we have the 300 Supersport class. That's a gaggle of riders over there. After Adrian Solomon, the likes of Arno Erasmus, Abigail Bosson, and Raymond Alexander all battling it out with each other. And remember, they're coming through traffic as well now, and so on. And that is not an easy thing to get through as far as things are concerned. But here they come now. Adrian Solomon has crossed the line already. It's 4 laps left to go. Arno Erasmus crosses the line. Abigail Bosson is 7/10 of a second off of him. They go into turn 1 and will open up onto the Joubert straight. Looking right behind them, Raymond Alexander still hanging in there 0.8 of a second further back. Braden Hutchings, Peter Hill, they're coming through the section now as well. Mitch Robinson, Sigurd Phillip, and Abdul Isak, 18 of them out there in all.
Well, going into turn number 5, that is that dice for 1st and 2nd in class and overall. Out of Pertamina Fostron they come now. And that lead is completely gone now. Hutchings still sits out there in P1, but right on his back wheel, he's Ryan Kutsia. Kutsia dives up. They side by side. Kutsia's got the line for Holzoek, and Ryan Kutsia takes the lead away from Hutchings. Hutchings comes right back at him again as they make their way out of Holzoek on that twist grip. Got it wide open as they race down towards turn 2. And for the first time in this race, we have got a new leader. Hutchings has dropped down to second position. Kutsia takes the lead, but they've got 2 back markers ahead of them as they make their way towards turn 3, interceptor corner.
Adrian Solomon's Kawasaki Ninja 400 starts his third last lap in this race. He was last time, well, quite a bit ahead there. I'll take a look at the gaps now. There is quite a gap, but look behind here. Arno Erasmus and Abigail Bosson are battling it out between each other. On the main straight, they'll run across the line now, and then we'll see them go into turn 1 once more. They are 16 seconds behind the Solomon bike, but there's only 7/10 of a second between the two of them. Raymond Alexander and Braden Hutchings were battling it out earlier on.
Heading down towards turn number 5, that lead has changed again, and Hutchings has got the lead again as they make their way out of turn number 5, out of Fostron corner. Man, it's chopping and changing. They've gone past those back markers, and here they come towards us. Hutchings has got the lead again. Remember, out of turn number 2, Hutchings have dropped down into that second place, but he's back in the lead again as they make their way out of turn number 1. Working the way up the Tygerberg Straight towards turn 2, and Hutchings has been hassled once again into turn 2 here by Ryan Kutsia. There was 3/10 of a second between them when they started that lap, and there's not much there between them as they go through the kink towards turn number 3, interceptor corner. Zante Otto is still in that second position, followed there by Franco Vlag, Dave Entercott, Jamie Hall, and then Lance Jonas and Robin De Vos.
Well, the leader, Adrian Solomon of the Supersport 300 class, just crosses the line now. It was a 16-second gap before we got Arno Erasmus and Abigail Bosson. That surely would have grown, of course, but the one to watch at the moment is second in class, Erasmus versus Bosson. Here they come now. She was a 10th of a second faster on the last lap. They charge up now to turn 1 with 2 laps left to go in this race. So still nose to tail, a 28-0 for Abigail Bosson, and responding a 27-9 over there for Erasmus. So it is there a 10th of a second quicker from the second place man.
One more lap to go as your leaders start another lap and head into turn number 1. They are on their final lap now, and a 1:20.5. Ryan Kutsia is the quickest man as they exit turn number 1, working their way out of turn number 1, out of Holzoek, heading towards turn number 2, heading towards Holzoek. They've got a couple of back markers that's just ahead of them. This is going to be great stuff. Towards the checkered flag they go, through the kink and towards turn number 3. So yeah, they're on their way to the checkered flag, but they've got a half a lap to do before they get there as they exit interceptor corner. They've got a couple of back markers. Woo, those back markers are just holding their line, and they are coming through. The back markers are in between them as they make their way through turn number 4, out of sidle sweep. Down the back main they go. Have they cleared those back markers? Yep, yeah. They have cleared those back markers, but I don't think that Ryan Kutsia, as they work their way down towards turn number 5, Fostron corner, is going to be able to catch Hutchings as Hutchings makes his way out of turn 5. He'll work his way now towards the checkered flag. The flag man has got the flag ready. And here they come down towards us, and it's going to be Nicholas Hutchings that comes home in P1. Ryan Kutsia comes home second, and third across the line will be Zante Otto. But Byron, the 300s are still out there coming towards the line now. Is Franco Vlag, and then right behind Vlag, I think that's Hall. Yes, it is Jamie Hall. He got his nose ahead of Dave Entercott that dropped down to P6.
Well, the big one at the moment, Frankie, of course, Adrian Solomon. He's 18 seconds ahead of the pair behind him. So he's basically going to win this. It's a foregone conclusion. But what happens is Arno Erasmus and Abigail Bosson, they've been having a lovely battle with each other. Erasmus was still ahead by 0.7 of a second. When they're coming around now, we'll find them where they are. I think they're going to be coming down the back straight here now towards the line. They will then run. Here comes the winner of the 300 section. The number 4 on the Kawasaki, Adrian Solomon, finishes 10th overall through the Pertamina Fastron turn 5, out of turn 5 now. Running it to the line, it looks like it will be Arno Erasmus that will take the second place over here, but a valiant effort from Abigail Bosson as well. And there we go, bike number 21, the KTM will take that second place. Abigail Bosson will take third on the Yamaha. And then we wait for Raymond Alexander and Braden Hutchings. Here comes Raymond Alexander, bike number 11. That is, of course, the Quacker 300. And then the KTM of Braden Hutchings will just come through about a few seconds off in this race. So 18 of them started, well, actually 19 of them started, Frankie. I see Stavro Michel not finishing the race, unfortunately. So 18 of them saw the checkered flag.
Yeah, he was on the grid. He started the race, and he was stuck in there between the Super Sport 300s. And then, yeah, picked up a problem out there and finishes 5 laps behind the leader, which means it's a DNF there for Stavro Michel.